Hi my babies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl the Alpha Woman here on Ask the Alpha, and today we're going to be speaking about 9 signs that the love that you have is from an attachment trauma. Alright babies, let's jump right into it. So boom, I know you guys know what it's like to have had a love that's not healthy, that does not come from a place where you know your self-worth is raised in there. And today we're going to jump right into that because I find that I'm finding a lot of people who are asking me questions about if they feel like their love is secure, if they feel like their love is actually love. And I have a tendency to feel like if you're even asking that question, I feel like you know the answer. Number one, you're absolutely going to feel like you're addicted to this person, right? And there's no getting away from them. There's no breaking up. You're just going to feel like that is it for you, and it'll be at the cost of your own self-worth. Meaning you might do things that are a bit degrading. You might do things that are a bit out there or not something that is respectful or healthy for you, just for you to receive the attention of this person. 9 times out of 10 that usually signifies that you don't feel whole within self and you're attracting partners that are doing the same. I've definitely been there. I had an ex-boyfriend when I was in high school, and I was with him on and off about 3 years, and I remember trying to go to his house at night, and it was dangerous where I used to live at. I remember, like, you know, always asking to be around him, asking him to take care of me, to make me feel wanted and needed, not realizing that I was not going to be able to attract a partner who was going to do these things for me unless I did those things for myself, unless I seen the value within myself. Number 2 is going to be feeling like you're afraid to lose them. And this is not going to be a one-time thing. You're going to feel like this all the time. You're going to feel like, oh my God, what if they cheat on me? Oh my God, like, it's going to be a heavy feeling of insecurity that is within you, and you're not going to really understand how to deal with it. And you're going to also project these things onto that other person because you might not be attached to that person from a healthy state. You know, this does not mean that you cannot have feelings towards that person, but this in no way is love. It is strictly heavy attachment. It is. Okay. Number 3 will be intense and high emotional ups and downs, meaning you might feel emotionally like you're on a roller coaster, literally always up or always down. There's never a steady movement, because I'll tell you one thing, and one thing's for sure, 2 things are for certain. When you are in love, and the love is healthy, sometimes it's going to feel a little boring. Sometimes it's not going to really shake up your nervous system because it's safe. And anything that's in your nervous system that's safe is not always going to scream at you and say, oh my God, look at me, because you're not experiencing the high dangers up here and the high positives which are down there. In 1 second. Yeah, the high dangers that are up here and the positives which are down there. Everything will definitely feel exaggerated. Even things that shouldn't be exaggerated will feel exaggerated. And it'll be frustrating. It will be, because you're not going to really understand what's going on. All you know is that you love this person, but you cannot love somebody else until you are fully done loving yourself. It is just how it goes. Okay? Number 4 is you're going to ignore all the red flags in your relationship. I mean, the cheating, you're going to look the other way. You're going to say, well, you know, he doesn't do these things, but it's fine. And maybe it's not fine. Maybe you do deserve better. Like, I know I did when I was over here just accepting whatever from these men, and women too, right? But the thing about it is like, you got to know your worth. You cannot sit up here and look at the red flags and just go, oh, well, you know, maybe one day they'll change, or they're only acting like this because of this reason. No, people show you who they are, especially in the beginning. Obviously, over time, that mask gonna fall off and you'll see somebody's true colors, but people will continuously show you who they are, and it is up to you to decide on if you want to accept those things or if you don't. Because most of the times we accept things and bad behaviors from people in hopes that they will change. And I'm not saying that people aren't capable of change. I am not. But I am saying accepting these people and loving them wholeheartedly with all of your heart, and not having any cautionary level, and not looking to at least protect yourself on some desire before just giving your heart your all, you are essentially setting yourself up to be, in a sense, heartbroken. And it's not fair to you, because you deserve to have a love that is equal, respectful, gives you reciprocation, doesn't cheat, doesn't lie, doesn't do all of these things that you know you obviously do not want. You don't want an aggressive partner. Don't go looking for an aggressive partner, and don't say that that's love either, because love is not going to do that to you. Love is not going to sit here and mistreat you and do anything that you guys didn't discuss in the beginning. That is false. You know that you have some attachment that's going on once your self-worth kind of feels like if your mood changes when this person is there. If so much of your energy is dependent on that person's actions, then you are now forming an attachment. Because at the end of the day, no matter who it is that you're with, whether it is friend, family, foe, animal, whoever it is that you're with, your mood and your energy levels should stay and remain within self, within a calm equilibrium. It shouldn't be something that is easily heightened or easily taken away, because that is, in fact, when you give away your power. That is, in fact, when you start to experience the high highs and the low lows again. Because you're essentially giving away your power to somebody and not even realizing if this person is somebody who you should give your power away to. And I know that, and I speak that from quite literally experiencing that multitude of times, especially if you have a big heart. I got a big heart. I'm pretty sure you watch my show, you got a big heart. You don't want to experience these kinds of, you don't want to experience these things. It's just not, it's not really the vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Yeah. Number 6. Oh my God, this is my favorite. You know you're involved in one of these things once you start feeling like it's your job to be responsible for this person. At the end of the day, no matter how much you love somebody, you cannot enable them in their behavior. You can help, but it is at no point in time your job to fix anybody, especially somebody that you're in love with. Because essentially you're looking to keep that person dependent on you on a subconscious level. And if you love that person, you would not want to do that. You would want to help them boss up. You would want to help them to remain independent, to get their power back while still remaining in yours. See, a big thing that I feel like I'm realizing is that a lot of times when we are entering partnerships, sometimes the give and take is not equal. It's not. And the initial intention when people are getting into relationships, we think it's because we want somebody to be in love with. We think it's because, we'll feel safe and complete with these people, not realizing that we're just reintegrating things that we've gone through at childhood within these new people that we're dating. And it's not really fair. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to us to experience those heavy attachments like that, because at the end of the day, they deserve their own independence. They deserve to be able to be in a place of loving themselves. If you feel responsible for fixing them and you do end up fixing them, what happens when there's nothing else to fix? Is that person no longer lovable? Are you not attracted to them because of the way you came in? These are just questions that I want you to ask yourself or analyze within your own dynamics, because these are very common issues that I feel like I see on a day-to-day. Part of fixing them is sometimes also waiting for them and waiting for big changes. I believe in having non-negotiables in every relationship, and I also believe in being honest with yourself and saying, okay, this is just how this person is, and this is something that this person has shown me that they're willing to work on. I think that these are two very important things to look at whenever you're deciding to look for a partner, or when you're deciding to analyze whatever attachment it is that you have to somebody. Because attachments can be rather positive or negative. They can be either healthy or unhealthy. It just is what it is. Obviously, not everything is necessarily black or white, and we are all fighting things internally. We are all going to have some rather maybe unhealthy habits. Like me, I know sometimes the ego attempts to win with me. I know I can get a little prideful, but just being aware of that and making it clear to whoever it is that I am dealing with, and expressing to them like, hey, I know this is how I am, but you deserve this version of me. That's the kind of mindset that you want to have, and you don't want to be the only person that's having that mindset. Whoever it is that you're dealing with, you want them to think like that too. Especially for you, you want that. In fact, you might even need that if you want a successful and desirable relationship, because people will end up being in relationships for years on end, and not even realize that the foundation that they started on was rocky. Sometimes we even outgrow our partners, but we stay around due to what? Due to the loyalty. I'm not speaking on married couples, by the way, because if you marry, that is a completely another story. But I am vouching for you loving yourself no matter where you're at in life. Unmarried, married, single, divorced, whatever. I'm vouching that you love yourself first. And that you analyze if you're truly content, and if you're truly in a dynamic that really does make you happy. Because the gag is, sometimes we'll see dynamics where it's like, I've been dealing with this person for 13 years, but they've never taken you on vacation. And you've always wanted to go to Spain. Or they're loyal, they're so loyal, but maybe they hit you. Or they yell at you, or they try to break your phone whenever they feel like you're out too late. I don't know who I needed to say that to, and I am going to try to maybe put a trigger warning, because I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not better than nobody else. These are just very big things that I do see in other people, and it's scary, because obviously in a perfect world, we all would be in perfect relationships, and sometimes you can't help who you love. But here's the thing, even if you can't help who you love, you can still choose your own actions. I might love somebody to the death of me. I definitely just might. But every day, in every scenario and chance, I'm going to choose me. No matter what that looks like. I'm not saying that like I just want to be young, strong, independent black woman forever. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that I see these things for what they are. And I choose the company that I keep very selectively. I want people that are aligned with me, people that respect me, people that talk to me in a way that feels healthy, and people whose actions will back up to it. Because anybody that's hurting you, anybody that you have all of these anxious attachments behind, and that you can't just simply just live and let love, that's not for you. Number 7, you confuse passion with anxiety. This is a big one, because this is something I think it hit home for me, right? I used to really enjoy the thrill, especially in my younger days. I looked at all of the things and was thinking, well, this is exciting, and shouldn't you feel this rush all the time? No, for me, no for you, no for anybody. The love you desire and want should feel healthy. It should feel peaceful. It should feel calm. It should feel like coming home. Passion does not mean skyrocketing anxiety. You should not be anxious to tell somebody what happened in your day and worry that they're going to do something or things of that nature. It just shows that you have your own inner work to deal with. I know for me that was something that I think I dealt with in the past too, like confusing excitement with drama, right? And thinking, well, this is exciting, not realizing that I was putting myself in risky situations with risky people, both romantically and unromantically as well. And I usually ended up with outcomes that did do more harm than good. It pays in time and energy to be selective with who you are. It pays in time and energy to appreciate, love, and respect yourself and invite that energy in. Because anybody that's loving and self-respecting, their energy is calm. Their energy is peaceful. Look at animals. I mean, they be going cock-a-doodle-doo and all that and barking and all that. But on a warm, cozy night, if you got pets, you know, they just want to snuggle up with you. They don't want to talk. They just want to feel your energy. People should be more like that. People should be more like that. Everything shouldn't have to be a fight. It shouldn't always have to be an argument and all these things. It should just be as simple as, I love you. You love me. I accept you. You accept me. That's what it should be. It shouldn't have to be anything else. I respect you. You respect me. I respect me, so you respect me. How about that? Right? How about them apples? Right? And number 8. Oh my goodness. You struggle to set boundaries. Oof. I'm not gonna lie, this one is a toughie because struggling to set boundaries does not necessarily mean that it's so much the attachment with that person. Sometimes that could really just be an internal you thing. But in you not knowing how to set boundaries in your day-to-day life, you're going to attract partners that are always crossing them. If you don't get clear on what your boundaries are, on what's okay and what's not okay, you will consistently and continuously remain and end up with people who are disrespecting you loudly. I'm not talking a little something. I'm talking loud, very loud, disrespectful things, and then you will confuse the good that they do and believe that it overbears the bad, right? I could have somebody that I love tell me they love me all day, but the moment that they get angry, they want to hit me, they want to yell at me, they want to curse me out, or they want to be manipulative and narcissistic and emotionally make me feel low, make me feel as though I don't need anybody but them. That's manipulative. It is. And you don't deserve that. You shouldn't accept that. But you're not going to know what it is that you should and should not accept until you get clear on what is and what isn't okay. Otherwise, you're just riding the wave. And the thing is that be cool for a little while. I'm not even going to lie. It's cool to be oblivious. It's cool to, act like everything is okay until shit really hit the fucking fan. And that's when people be waking the fuck up. Don't be like me in the past where I had to wait for shit to hit the fan. Shit's not hitting the fan now. It's slow for that. It's so slow for that. You're not getting me. You're not getting me. You're not getting my channel viewers. It's slow. I'm vouching that everybody on my channel is upholding and uplifting themselves so much, and their boundary wall is so strong that only the people that are the most deserving of their hearts are able to come through. Because that's how I view myself, that's how I'm viewing y'all, that's how I speak to y'all. Because I know that it's not easy to have those strong boundaries. People without boundaries will look at you and call you things like strict. They will call you things like, oh, she's uppity, she thinks she's better than us. I've gotten a whole 9 yards. I'm over here doing YouTube, right? And people have quite literally said these things to me, or said, you're not going to be anything because this is what you want to do. I'm trying to help the collective. I'm not even wilding for real. But none of those people's opinions matter so long as you're doing what feels right for you. And maybe even for the rest of the collective too. Because by helping yourself, you do help others. There's always something that we're going through that somebody else might need advice on. Even me. Even me. Especially me. Right? Because none of us are perfect. Some of us have encountered battles before that other people haven't, and vice versa, and likewise. And we need to know and appreciate that about each other. I really do believe that. We need to appreciate that it's a blessing to have boundaries, that it shows discipline, that it shows self-love, that it shows strength and integrity in who you are. Because letting people cross over your boundaries, you're hurting yourself. Whether that's now or later, you are hurting yourself. And I don't really like that for you. I don't like that for me too. I don't like that. Mm-mm. No, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, no. Oh, no, no. Yeah. Number 9. This one is a biggie. Hits home just like the rest of the stuff that I'm saying. But you stay with that person because being by yourself feels scary. Like, too scary. Like, you might want to die. Scary. This hurts my heart to even talk about, but it does need to be talked about. We need more awareness in the mental health space community, especially as people of color, because people will look at you and call you names without understanding why you've made the decisions that you're deciding to do. Or if they're not calling you names, they'll sit down and it'll be other things where they're making you feel as though, well, that could never be me, and I can't accept this kind of behavior. Nobody's better than nobody out here. Let's keep it G. Nobody is better than nobody out here. I could preach all the shit that I'm preaching, but I've gone through the fucking trenches with people playing in my face, disrespectful, all the whole nine, everything you can think of, relationship wise, I've gone through, right? And not just relationship wise, and friends and family, partnerships, the entire night, even corporate work environments, right? Just experiencing being disrespected, experiencing codependency, because that's what number 9 is about. It's all about codependency. We can become so codependent because we put so much expectations on other people. And that's not healthy. You can't, and you shouldn't really be with somebody else until you got your own shit together. Respectfully. And I'm not saying that to say that you can't love on nobody. Everybody need love. Everybody want to get touched. I know I like kisses, but I also know that nothing can sustain itself if the foundation is shaky. Let's put it like that. And in order for you to invite somebody else into your foundation, into your realm, you see I'm making a little foundation, it has to be strong within yourself. Your inner compass has to be strong. Unable to shake, because that's the thing about what it is, and that's something that I do preach pretty often. Men and women will come and go. People pass away. Things just happen. You might think you're going to marry dude, you don't marry him. You know what I'm saying? Like, life will really hit you with the dewey. And when things crash, it falls. When it rains, it pours. I know. But the one thing that I think that has gotten me this far in my life, and I believe in preaching to everybody, is making sure that you're whole within self. Because at the end of the day, if anybody try to step to me, and I don't mean fist fighting wise, anybody try to step to me, I'm okay if they leave. I'm okay if they stay. I've built my own happiness. I've created and generated a life that is so beautiful to myself. And yes, we all have goals, but appreciating where you are today in this life, it means so much. And it shows God, the universe, the creator, source, energy. It shows that you value where you are and that you deserve more. It does. Because for every single person out there, it could always be worse. Even if you really is at rock bottom. I've been there a few times. Broke, poor, unhealthy. The whole 9, I have. But I no longer resonate with that, because I worked so hard on my internal compass so that this way I did not become dependent on anybody else, because I have been before. I've had boyfriends and girlfriends where I hit them up and expected them to make sure my daily needs were met. Expected so much out of them. And then wonder why that dynamic collapsed. People are but human beings. You can't hold me and you up. I can't hold me and you up. I have to hold up me. I can't expect you to hold me up. It's just natural. It just is what it is. We deserve to experience and have partnerships that really feel like partners. that really feel like partners, that really feel like we're building and we're experiencing life together. We deserve that. We do not deserve to have dynamics that feel so shaky that that person leaves, that your entire world is done, that you have nothing to live for if that person is not in your life. That is how you know it is an attachment trauma. And none of these things are your fault because, like I said, emotional intelligence is not really taught to any of us. It's more so one of those things that has to be learned. We go through our dynamics and we have to experience these things for ourselves, for us to see what works and what doesn't work, right? And once we see what it is that works, we have to stick with it, no matter how hard or how tough it is. That's a big life lesson even on my end, because I did have a relationship where I got way too dependent on. And it was subconscious. It was, nobody ever just wakes up and decides to go about things and say, well, I'm just gonna be dependent on this person. That's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Nobody does that. But sometimes over time it happens. You spend enough time with somebody or you go through enough things with somebody, it can happen to the best of us. But that's why it's always important to check in with yourself too, because I was never really, let me not say never, but I hadn't been a codependent person until the end of that dynamic. And that only happened because I lost myself. I stopped doing my own hobbies. I stopped doing the things that make me light up as a person and only did things that made the relationship or the other person light up. I forgot who I was. And in forgetting who you are, that'll do it. That'll make anybody codependent. And we do these things out of love. We create these dynamics out of love, whether it's your daughter, your mother, your brother, your sister, your fiance. It doesn't matter. Boyfriend or girlfriend for 10 plus years. It doesn't matter. We're all capable to get caught up in that. That's the biggest thing that I preach is honing in on yourself, practicing mindfulness, and really tending to your mental health so that this way, anytime you're out of your equilibrium, you will know. You will know. There's nothing that me, Alpha, that I go through and that I experience that I don't check in with myself about first. If it don't feel right in here in my heart, it got to go. If it makes me question myself and my worth, it got to go. If it feels disrespectful, if it's something that I wouldn't want done to me, it has to go. Obviously, that is, a little bit dependent on, that person and me's dynamic. I'm not saying cut off years of friendship or, somebody you want to marry. But what I am saying is analyze it first. Talk to that person first. See if these are behaviors that are just red flags or just childhood wounds. I'm not saying go around diagnosing anybody. None of us. Well, I'm a doctor, but everybody's not doctors. We're not psychologists. I'm just mentioning that I want you to be very, very aware. Because at the end of the day, you're the only person that's living your life. Other people's not living your life for you. You're the only person living your life. So you deserve to live a goddamn good one. One that fills all your heart's desires. Why wait around for anybody to make that choice for you? And you don't want to be in a relationship where you can't even provide that person what it is that you know they deserve anyways. Sometimes we just cling to other people because we think, well, we can build something together. And sometimes you can. I'm not denying that. I've seen plenty of marriages that have thrived on building that other person first. But you know what the gag is? They knew who they were before they got together. Getting together was just a plus because they was already honed in on themselves. This is how you are meeting people who are building marriages that last for eons and generations, and their relationship and love is healthy. It speaks before they even walk in the room. It is powerful. It is strong. Love is patient. Love is kind. You know what I'm saying? All these things. I do hope that this video was informative. If you have any of these things that you're going through or you're kind of overanalyzing, please feel free to send me an email if you would like to work with me. I would love